Fellow citizens, 7 years ago, our founding fathers brought into the continent the liberty of freedom, a new nation, and make the declaration that everybody is equal. Now we're fighting in a civil war, seeing whether we will finally reach a prosperous nation. We are meeting here on a great battlefield of a war that will decide this country's future. We have come to fight a portion of this field as a place for those who gave their lives to save the prosperity of this country. It is a just cause fighting for the land because we deserve it. But in this ground, the people who fought represent us and will not let this ground be taken apart. The men, living and dead, who fought here have struggled for this land, and the ground, therefore, belongs to them. The world won't remember what we say here, but it can never forget what people fought for in this land. It is for us, the living, to finish the work which they fought for here. As well be remembered, it is our task to be inspired with the incredible job that they've done. That from these honored dead we should worship the cause for which they gave their lives for us. That we will not let it pass in vain, the people that we lost. That this nation will have a new beginning, and the government of our people will not disintegrate in this new nation. We will keep ruling with liberty, passion, and the pursuit of happiness.
Today, I ain't going time to waste as I did last time, so I decided to make a statement right now, which is very important for our country. Last time, all we cared about was the possibility of starting a civil war. You all just feared the possibility of going to war. While the inaugural address was being delivered from this same place, we all were determined to save our country without war. Gang-style men attacked us in order to dissolve the Union, and only to avoid war. Both parties hated war, but one of them will make war rather than let the nation survive, and the other one will accept war rather than let it collapse. And the war came. 1/8 of the population were Afro slaves, not distributed generally over the Union, but localized in the southern part of it. These slaves constituted a peculiar and powerful interest. All knew that this interest was somehow the cause of the war. Through strength and perpetuate and extend the interest was the object for which the insurgents would dissolve the Union, even by war, while the government claimed no right to do more than the restrict of the territorial growth of it. Neither party was expecting such a powerful and long-lasting war. Neither understood what was the true way out of the conflict. We were supposed to solve the conflict's cause before we solved the conflict itself. Each looked for an easier triumph. As a result, a less fundamental and powerful law. Both read the same Bible and prayed to the same God, and each uses his aid against the other. It may seem strange that men pray to their God for killing people just to have a piece of bread. But let us judge, not we be judged. The prayers of both could not be answered. That of neither has been answered fully. The Almighty has His own purposes. Suffering unto the world because of offenses. Not it must needs be that offenses come, but suffering to that man by whom the offenses come. If we shall suppose that American slavery is one of those offenses which, in power of God, must need to come, but which, having continued through His appointed time, He now will remove, and that He gives to both north and south this terrible war. As the suffering due to those by whom the offense came, shall we discover regarding any departure from those divine attributes which the believers in a living God always thank to Him? With love, hope, and enthusiasm, we pray to God that this horrible war stops. God wills that it continue until all the wonderful 250 years of useless effort between God and men shall be sunk, and until every drop of blood drawn with the attacks shall be paid by attack after attack with the sword, as was said 3,000 years ago, so still it must be said. The judgments of the Lord are true and fair altogether. They are noble and pure, with clarity for all, with firmness in the right, as God gave us to see the right. Let us struggle on to finish the work we are in, to bind up our nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have went through the battle, and for his widow and this orphan, to do all which may achieve and contemplate a just and lasting peace among ourselves and all the nations.